make bread today. I was never able to make it before until I found a really easy recipe. So first you're going to start out with running your kitchen tap water on hot because you need half a cup of hot water. This you're going to put in a bowl to activate your yeast. Then you're going to get 3 tablespoons of sugar or honey, whichever you prefer. And then 2 tablespoons of yeast. And I dump and pour, so whether you have a little more or a little less won't matter too much. And I take a fork and mix it up. Then I set it aside while I get my bread mixture ready. You're going to get 2½ cups of hot water. And you can turn off your water because you're done with it. Then, next, put in 2 tablespoons of salt. I use Himalayan. You can use whatever. And then 3 tablespoons of oil. I prefer coconut oil. You can use olive, which is nice. Vegetable oil, whatever you want. But my preference is definitely coconut or olive oil. 3 tablespoons of oil, 2 tablespoons of salt in your 2½ cups of water. Mix it around. Then you're going to do 3 cups of flour. It's 2. During this time, your yeast is rising. It should start looking foamy and bubbly on the top. That means your yeast is activated and is ready to work. Mix in your bread mixture. It's going to look like this, really soupy. Then you're going to take your yeast mixture, which has a really nice foamy look to it, and you're going to pour it in. Scrape out any of the bottom sugars that's in the bottom and continue mixing with your fork. Mix well, and it's going to be really soupy at this point. Now, you're going to do another 3 cups of flour. That's 1. 3. And you're going to mix that in well. Once it gets too hard to mix in, you're going to put a cup of flour onto some parchment paper. Brayden, would you take this and continue mixing it for me, son? Take it over there. And you're going to dump your mixture on top of the cup of flour. And I don't believe in kneading too much because it just wastes too much time. And I haven't found it to be necessarily beneficial to knead very much. I just get it to where the dough does not stick to my hands, makes a nice ball. Right there. That's what it looks like. And then I cover it with a towel. I let this sit for about 45 minutes. The mistake that I was making for so many years was I would not let it sit long enough to rise. I got impatient and I wanted to bake it too soon. So I set that aside. This is what it looks like. Now 45 minutes later, I have a nice dough ball that's double in size. This will make 2 loaves of bread. All you have to do is cut it in half. Take one, squish it a little bit, Form a bread loaf. Spray your bread pan. And then put your loaf inside, let it rise another 30 or 45 minutes, and it's ready to bake at 350 for 35 to 45 minutes, depending on how you want it done. Now, to make cinnamon rolls, which has been very popular around here, you're just going to take your dough and spread it out into a nice, fairly nice rectangle. That's enough. You can just leave it some. Now, I like a lot of butter. The more butter, sugar with cinnamon rolls are not supposed to be healthy. So you're going to just spread the butter onto your bread. Can you see this good? Rusty? Your hands are going to get messy, so don't worry about getting messy. And the more butter, the better it's going to taste. Probably not something you should eat very often, but sure is good for a treat. Now you're going to take brown sugar and cinnamon. This is 3 cups of unpacked sugar, and I'm not going to put all 3 cups on this. But this is just to show you. I'm going to make more cinnamon bread because you see I've got 3 batches, which is 6 loaves of bread. So you're going to take some cinnamon and sprinkle in your brown sugar, and then some regular sugar, put that in. And this is all dump and pour. I have no measurements. I'd say maybe that was a cup and this was 3 cups of brown sugar, a tablespoon or 2 of cinnamon, and then you're just going to put it on. Nice and thick. Brayden, would you get my pan over there and spray it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you see how this looks now? I'm going to put a little more cinnamon in it. Now, you're going to roll this into a roll. Now with your knife, you're going to cut this into 2-finger lengths. 2 fingers. 2 fingers. And then place it in your pan. You're going to let these rise for at least 35-40 minutes. The longer you let them rise, the better they're going to be. Don't let them rise until the yeast dies, but. And you're going to bake these until they're the desired brownness that you want, 35-40 minutes or so on 350, 375. And that's how you do it. I hope you can get some benefit out of this, and a little bit later I'll show you how to make the powdered sugar topping for the cinnamon rolls. Have a nice day.